Hey, this is RePenWolf-Gaming, and welcome back to a game called Symphony of War, the Nephilim Saga. If you're a big fan of JRPGs, or like turn-based tactical strategy games, this game might hit that itch that you're looking for. It's very similar to Fire Emblem, but as we all know, the Fire Emblem series from 2013, it's on Nintendo, and Nintendo products such as the Switch and the like. But if you are a PC gamer like myself and you have a Steam Deck, a PC of some sort, then this game is accessible to you on Steam. So this game right here is great. I love this game because it does hit that for me. We'll start a new game here. And we'll just do the normal difficulty, leave the tutorials on, and don't accidentally click this. Make sure it's X for permadeath, unless you want the game like super hard. Well, not hard per se, but you're gonna have to be buying up a bunch of like new recruits. You'll see like how that works, but your guys will get defeated quite often, and you may accidentally lose something. This is something you want to do if you want to, maybe like your second run through, if you want a little bit more challenge, aside from, you know, picking Warlord like a masochist. But we're gonna just go this beginning difficulty right here on Captain mode. There you are, child of destiny. You have arrived at a very opportune time, you will find. Let me look into your heart. Who are you? Will your journey be marked by virtue, or will this land's people remember you as an adversary? What is the most important trait a leader should have? The ability to bring people together? An unshakable love for people? The power to command respect and fear? Well, as you can see, we got three options, and these will determine some hidden stats. Well, how you kind of build your leader, of course. Now, there's a bunch of stats in the game, and all these correspond to one, and you'll be able to level them all up later in the game. But I think choosing by how you feel as a person, for at least the first run through, is pretty okay. I like the ability to bring people together, so if you want to look up a strategy guide and you're one of those people that want to min-max the game, you can totally do that. I mean, you can look at the Steam community page, which is great. The Steam community page on any game for anything on sale over there is usually pretty good. People love to get back to their community. As a potential ruler in difficult times, what are your most effective tools? Let's see. I guess if I had to be truthful to myself, it'd probably be my kind heart. I can be sometimes a little too kind, and I don't. The ego in me says that you shouldn't pick this because, like, if you're a person who says you're inspiring charisma, you know, you say like you're always likable to most people. It makes you come off as like an asshole, right? I forget that I shouldn't be swearing, but like a guy who's like shady, right? So I'm gonna go with that. And I don't like, nobody loves inspiring fear into people. I mean, that's not true. Maybe out of like a work thing. A desperate beggar corners you, demanding money. What do? Intimidate him into backing down. Talk your way out of the situation. Offer him a warm meal at the local pub. Well, that's kind of a scary situation, right? But we know that he's desperate, and a beggar is at his most vulnerable, his weakest time. He's really down on his luck. If it was in today's world, do you have the capacity, the will to help another person? Or are you just not in that place, right? And anybody might not be in that place. I wouldn't intimidate him into backing down. If he wasn't threatening me, and he just needs something, right? I mean, he's demanding money, so is he threatening me to, like, rob me? Talking doesn't seem like the right thing for me to do, but... I mean, if you offer him a warm meal at the local pub, you would be kind of talking your way out, in a sense, but you're trying to make yourself seem like a person, right? So I'm gonna do that. You must give up your most valuable possession. What is it? Your vast wealth, your battle prowess, or your faith? I will give up my wealth. You can always rebuild your wealth and start from zero. My parents have done that before. They were immigrants themselves. They started from zero quite a few times, and I've made it to where I'm now because of that. So I wouldn't want to lose my faith, and I want to be strong. So, what do you look for most in a mate? Beauty, wealth, and prestige, intellect. I guess I would look for their intellect. For me, I love holding great conversations, and intellect is its own beauty. You get to choose your own form. If you want to go with the female route or the male route, I usually go the female lead character because I like looking at her pretty face. So can't blame a guy. Let's see. Lindy is the name of her of the character, but should I just keep it as Lindy? It's always hard to decide if you want to change the character's name to something. Let me think. Alright, so I've decided. We're gonna go with Wolfie. It's not the most original, but it's we're gonna try and inject ourselves into the story a bit. Try to get immersed. So that's what we're gonna go with. So you have chosen Wolfie, yes. Thank you. What an intriguing soul. Go and I will see you here again when the time is right. Year 972. Looks like we're in a snowy biome of Tahnra. By the gods, the child survived. And the father? Perished fighting for the nobles, just like most of the young in this town. The mother prepared names for this. This one shall be named Wolfie. She is so beautiful. May she live to see a better world. Then I think about it, it probably doesn't make much sense. You know, parents are gonna name their kids Wolfie. She was raised by wolves. The world of Tahnra. So this is kind of like our overworld map, which in the year 997, year of our age, 3 realms rule the land. The desert kingdom of Sayuna, whose wealth earned it the title of Kingdom of Gold. The technologically advanced Free Republic of Sandraka, and the hegemonic Empire of Veridia, the world's military and economic superpower, where our story begins. One generation ago, multiple bids for the Veridian imperial throne plunged the land into war. This is known as the War of Veridian Succession. The long and bloody war ended with the coronation of Empress of Veridia. The long and bloody war ended with the coronation. Oh, I already just read that. However, its deep scars in the people's hearts as resentment against the excesses of the ruling class rose to the boiling point. Common people who had lost so much were forced to endure increasing hardships as the empire sought to rebuild. 25 years later, after the end of the Succession War, a man named Antares, a battle-worn general, kidnapped the Empress and formed his own army in an act of rebellion. He now controls a territory in the forest known as the East Wall District. Driven by what he believes to be undue hardships by the central government, Antares threatens to sack the imperial capital if his demands are not met. The ambitious Prime Minister Casimir has called the general's bluff and has decided to take military action. He orders a force sent to Antares' stronghold at East Wall Fortress. Two young and promising imperial officers, Wolfie and her longtime friend, Zelos, have prepared to meet General Antares in battle. Little could they know how much their adventure could change, or would change, the course of history. Imperial Army encampment, East Wall Province. Let us raise a glass to my friend Wolfie. Bet you all thought she wouldn't make it this far. Now ready to lead for her first squad. Ready to lead her first squad into battle. But I knew better. Not in the celebrating mood, Wolfie? There's a lot on the line. The Empress's life is in our hands. I'm not worried. I doubt these guys can keep up with you. It helps having a one-man army in our midst. I'm just a man. We got the gods on our side. I'm going to trust in my soldiers, not some idea. Don't tell me you believe in those fairy tales now. Don't underestimate the power of ideas. Look at how this empire is starting to forget the ideas that built it. With a proper leader, people would again feel a part of something. There'd be no generals going rogue. You've come a long way since the academy, but now we face the real thing. Come, Wolfie, let's brush up a bit. It is like a game of chess. You will command a group of soldiers known as squads, and each squad will have a leader. You appear as blue, and the enemy team appears in red. Time to engage in combat. First you must move your squad next to me. Select your squad, then select the tile next to my squad on the map to move. I think I had like the quick text before, because I usually scroll through games like this pretty quickly on my own. I may turn that off just for the sake of YouTube. That's okay. Right, now it's time to attack. Though I'm kind of used to it anyway, it's fine. Choose the attack option to target me. Careful, defenders will counterattack if they can. This isn't exactly fair. I am one soldier with one sword. You're going to command a whole army someday. You must think of yourself as a leader, and your followers are your sword and shield. First things first, show me what you've got. So, once you get into this, you get to see a bunch of like some stats to kind of give you a general gist of should you do this or should you not. And if you don't want to, you can actually right click to go back to where you were before. So you can change your mind. Maybe you wanted to go up here instead, or you misclicked. You can right click to kind of get out of that. So, and as long as you don't fully commit to the attack after you get to past the screen, you could decide if you want to go through it. So left click again and you're in battle, and it's a back and forth thing, and I should turn that off for the sake of yeah. I have played this game to about the midpoint when life got in the way once again, but I'm gonna finish this on YouTube, so not bad. Now let's raise the stakes. You're now leading a squad with a good balance of troop types. You got heavily armored troops in front or heavy infantry. Always rely on heavy infantry to serve as the backbone of your army, not only to protect weaker allies, but to rush down and attack. The squad also has 3 archers. These long-range troops are not as sturdy, but can attack from a distance, avoiding counterattack. Turn is up for now. Access the menu and end turn to proceed. So yep, each squad has like what's it called? One move, one attack, right? So let's go to instant text. Let's turn that off, and then where is it? Animation speed is fine. Or was it? Did I want it normal? Oh, I had it on turbo. That's why. Fast is fine, I think. That looked a little weird, huh? I think I meant to click here, and then it just went to turbo when I had it on fast to begin with. I think that's what happened. Yeah, I think that's good. Return to game. And now we just end our turn with the wait command. Not the end turn command. So usually it'd be their turn to attack, but this is a tutorial, right? Now you're ready. Attack me and try to take me down. So like you said, we have archers. We could just back up, right? And let the archers attack from afar. And that's usually good to soften up targets. But if they're armored, those archers really don't do much damage to begin with. So we're just going to go ahead and attack this guy right here. And we can see that our threat numbers have gone up because of the amount of soldiers, their skills, their levels, their attributes, all contribute to our threat level. And the more guys you destroy, the more morale you take out. So it goes both ways though. Fast is still too fast. Okay. Nothing to it. There's a great deal more to learn. But for now, you should be able to lead our forces against Intowers. As we progress, tutorials will pop up and you'll be able to access them wherever you want. Aren't you a bit early, Scout? We saw Antare's men celebrating the outlying villages. The rebels have begun raiding the locals. General Antares has stooped to this. How far has he fallen since the succession war? Send word to the capital. Maybe they can send us a real army. You heard that right. I did. Zealous, I know what you're thinking. How do you plan on explaining this to the higher ups? Don't worry about them. You and me, just our troops. Once we take down this rebellion, we'll celebrate. What do you say? Okay, Zealous, I'm with you, but I'm calling the shots this time. Fine by me. I've got your back, Wolfie. Chapter 1, Rebellion. So here's our battle map. It's very much like Fire Emblem. Good looks. Good. Looks like they haven't sent much out yet. You should take these guys out to get some battle experience. You can move your squad next to the enemy soldiers and attack. If you run into trouble, I'm right behind you. Take a break, Zealous. I've got this. Now, you guys wouldn't know this from this first battle if you were playing it blind, but technically what you really want to do is let Wolfie take care of all the fighting as much as she possibly can, and capture these buildings, right? You have to go through the entrance to capture them. Specifically these red capture buildings right here. These ones have resources, so we could send Zealous to go take care of it. But Yeah, let me change the options once more. And animation speed on normal is probably better, so you can see what actually happened. Yeah. So we're good. Okay.
Ready.
And we'll go here. So you can see that our threat level is like double theirs. So, and they're just archers. You'll see our morale bar, and it goes all the way to 0, and they get super defeated there.
Your command?
That guy, I don't think will do anything, so we can go ahead and end turn. He may go for the lower threat. No, he just sits there. Yeah. The enemy AI in this game is actually quite smart. They will definitely try to flank you and try to take out your weakest units. So be careful where you place your guys. This game has it so that the attackers usually have the advantage to whittle down your forces. So
for my people. For
sometimes,
my homeland.
if you can figure out how far they can move, it's better just to stand outside their range and then go in for the attack. But even then, like, the AI is like smart enough not to walk into your range from time to time. We took some damage in that fight, but we can heal it back by having support units such as the medic in your squad. While they cannot attack, support units help greatly to keep soldier losses to a minimum. Next, we need to capture that town so we can liberate it from the rebels. Move a squad to the town's front gate and seize. So we are going to end turn, because we don't want Zelos to capture that building. And the reason why is
I must stay strong.
that your guys get these faction XP points. Well, I mean, that's for us, but they also get like leadership points, which allows you to make your squad much bigger. We'll see that screen in a little bit, and I'll show you guys. But yeah. Good, we liberated a town and got some gold and faction XP stars for our trouble. We'll need gold for a lot of things: recruiting new troops, hiring mercenaries, buying artifacts, among others. Faction XP allows us to increase faction rank. As faction rank increases, our reputation will improve among the people. This will yield better shop prices, discover new technology, attract new recruits, and intimidate our enemies. The squad who captures objectives gets leadership, LDR, and loyalty XP as well. The Imperial Army has arrived much sooner than I expected. Wolfgar, I'm trusting you to lead our troops here. If you hold the river fortress, we should be safe here. I'll make them regret coming here. Don't worry, General. Looks like we made it just in time. Are you ready for this, Sybil? Are you kidding, Jules? I've been waiting ages for a chance to prove my mettle. Come and get it. Come and get it, rebel scum. This squad has tougher soldiers, so I should stay in front. Squad mine will provide long-range archer attacks from a safe distance. See that hill? That high ground, very useful, especially for archers like me. Move me onto the hill so I can shoot further than normal. Over there to the east. I think that's Jules, a fellow Imperial Academy cadet of mine. We should meet up with them and join all our forces together. So yeah. There's another thing we should keep in mind is the mission info. So there's a kind of a time limit. Well, I mean, there's no time limit per se in the game, but to complete these extra challenges where you beat the level within a certain amount of turns, you capture an amount of objectives, and you kill a certain amount of squads, and then you have these other challenge missions. These will give you faction XP, extra gold, and the like. And those are victory and defeat conditions. So you definitely want to complete these challenges because they really help out.
How can
You don't
I
have
help, my
to,
lord?
but it's definitely worth doing. So we'll see how the archers work. Because our archer is sitting on a hill, we can attack 1 square further away. And this archer has an attack range of 2, so they can't retaliate in a fight. Now, our archers could have attacked again if they have a high enough agility, which is really cool.
I'm just getting started.
So we're gonna attack with this squad now. This squad has a bunch of spearmen and a new unit we haven't seen yet, which is a mage. They hit really hard, but they take it 1 turn to charge up their attack.
For Veridia.
Okay, I'm just gonna move up Zelos. I
Direct
think our
my
guys
blade.
can go through people, so we should be okay to go this way. They try and capture that mine. Everybody's moved. You can see how strong Zelos is when he just like one-shots enemies for 1 and then doesn't take any damage whatsoever. He's a powerhouse of a unit. We could take that river fortress. The path to the main enemy base will be clear. Forts give defensive bonus and allows archers to shoot further. And that goes for both sides, so we can't underestimate those defenders. So yeah,
There goes
Zelos,
nothing.
he is your tutorial helper, per se, right? And he won't be able to help you later on in the games. You technically don't want to use him as
The time to
an
act is
attacker. And you see all their stats go up. It's really cool. So those stats go
Here
up based on
comes Sybil,
which class
ready
they
or
are. Those soldier types they are. We got a little unlucky with the 2. I might have been able to
We
soften up
will
that guy
always
with the
find a
archer.
way.
It worked out in the end. Trade bowmanship 1. So those little items that we get, it's like a skill that we can place on just one unit. We'll get to the inventory management and the customization. Oh, there's so much customization in this game. So you really love to like micromanage your units. This game is definitely cool. See that town? To win wars, we must secure objectives. Objectives can be towns, mines, or stables, or military bases. Towns like this or gold mines provide gold. Any of our squads can capture objectives. There, that's East Wall Fortress, home base of the enemy. That's a heavily fortified castle like most home bases. It provides defensive bonuses to soldiers stationed there. Do not underestimate any base defender, even those clowns. There'll be times when we are operating out of our home base. When that happens, you must defend it at all costs. If an enemy reaches our home base, it will force us into defeat.
They'll notice this one for sure.
Let's have
Stay
this guy
strong,
attack.
everyone.
I think you should be able to wipe them out before they get attacked back. Ooh, we almost lost a unit there. So see, if we were in Iron Man mode, we would have lost that guy.
I'm just getting started. Ready.
Let's go up there. Take this guy out. We got a crit there. That was great. Alright.
Your command?
Capture this mine and get the iron resources. With the 3 iron we just gained, we can upgrade our troops to more advanced classes, even between chapters, or one between chapters. Resources are not consumed, just allocated, meaning we can change classes without any risk at all. Feel free to experiment. So yeah, you can definitely mix and match your troops and change the classes from the base unit to something else. If you didn't like that path, you can always go back to something else. There is a little bit of time spent on the character where, how do I explain it? If you're trying to go further up in the tree, like the 3rd tier down on the branch is the best way I can explain it. They do need to like level up within that kind of class to be able to get to the next one. We really got them on the run now. The River Fortress is ours. Time to take down the local rebel commander at Eastwall. Damn Imperial dogs! They really are this ruthless. The rest of you, get out there and stop them. Our cause will not be snuffed out here. So yeah, there's 3 more guys. Looks like we've got another fight on our hands. Wolfie, we're counting on you as the army leader to destroy the enemy. Hopefully their leaders will get the message and lay down their weapons. Now,
Here comes Sybil.
as you can see,
Not.
they can't make it all the way there. Actually, hold on. I think this unit was way more damaged, so we're gonna have them go up first. We're gonna have them wait there.
They'll notice this one for
We'll have
sure.
our guy come up here to the right, to his right, and heal. So this is where we can heal out of combat, instead of like trying to fight weaker enemies to heal ourselves. So it's really helpful. You can heal 1 person, and we're just gonna go for this guy, trying back to high health. Super useful.
Veridia.
We're gonna have him man the castle here,
For my people.
and
For my homeland.
we're gonna move our leader over here to the left. And the units that can attack, if they are by themselves, they have to surrender, which is pretty cool. So they pretty much just kill themselves on our unit there. Cool.
I must stay strong.
A little faction XP, a
How can
little
I help,
gold.
my lord?
Pretty good. Let's soften these guys up.
I'm
Lightning
just
infantry.
getting started.
We want some XP for our guys, so we're going to want to attack into them. Okay.
Direct my
Now we
blade.
could send this guy off to grab this, but we're gonna hold off on that. I don't think he has. He might have archers, so actually, let me check. So yeah, he has like 2 sets of archers.
Here goes nothing.
We could stand here to get a little XP. Well, actually, he'll probably just
Your
die
command?
because they're inside of a castle. They can attack at 3 range, so we're just gonna pop up right here. And we'll end turn. Now, maybe you guys have noticed these guys have exclamation points on them. That's like a chat thing that you want to grab for extra story and such. So we're gonna unturn.
The battle lies before me.
So we get close to them. We just can't help crossing paths, Jules. Looks like we're in this together, huh? Wolfie, what an honor to fight by your side in our first mission. The Central Command didn't say you'd be here. Was there some sort of mistake? We decided to improvise. Anyway, glad to have the Rangers here among us. With clever planning, your troops can pick off the enemies without fear of counterattack. Unless they have their own archers, of course. So you're leading this mission. Wow, I always knew you'd do great things, Wolfie. Oh, come on, Jules. You say that no matter what I'd end up doing. So yeah, well, you can heal up his other archer unit. Not quite the full, but your healers do get stronger as well.
Here comes Sybil, ready or not.
Let's see. Their defenders aren't
They'll
that
notice
strong.
this one for sure.
I'm just gonna attack straight into them. Sometimes we get a free action because of our agility. Okay.
We will always find a way.
For Veridia!
And I mean, we'll set him over here for now, just in case. Let me check how many turns we took. We got 3 more turns. Okay. So I was taking a little bit of time. I could have rushed this guy a long time ago, maybe like 2 turns ago. But it's better to be patient in these types of games, anyway. So
The time to act is now.
I am going to
Stay
send
strong, everyone.
you over here. So on your turn, next turn, you can grab that. Well met. You're with the Imperial Army? Named Sybil, battle maiden of Veridia. Jules and I were sent up the river to try and outflank the rebels. That's an impressive title, but you wear the garb of a temple priestess. Yeah, so what? Healing's just as important as hurting, isn't it? Of course. We're fortunate to have a priestess among us. So, healing also gives us XP, so don't forget to do that for the unit that's doing the healing. The more healers you have in the unit, the more heals you can do in these little off turns. So, yes. We're gonna unturn there, and we're gonna grab these buildings. C's. You got
How can I
gold.
help, my lord?
You got more faction XP. More XP for the leader unit, which is Jules there.
I'm just getting started.
And let's see. We made it within the target turns of where on this turn we actually completed
Here
it 1
comes
turn
Sybil,
earlier.
ready or
So
not.
that's what we're gonna do. We beat the chapter there. So we got an S here, as you can see, and we also got some surrenders, which gives us some extra bounty and more faction XP right there. That's what those stars mean. So we got 22 extra faction XP, plus a little bit extra gold. So that's really good. And the rank determines how much more faction XP we get. Inner Keep, East Wall Fortress. The Imperial Army has certainly wasted no time. We've got to escape to the Centurion's Rest. You think I will just willingly go with you? You will. We both know that the snakes in the capital cannot be trusted. You're much safer here, away from their schemes. And Taurus, you are going to get yourself killed. You don't deserve this. I have already given my life, but so too will my men if we do not escape immediately. So, what's the word? The Empress just said something that's a little off, right? Does she have Stockholm Syndrome, or is there something more going on afoot? I have already given my life, but so too will my men if we do not escape immediately. If we do not escape immediately, right? Please, we must go to Centurion's Rest. Now, the Empress seemed like she didn't do this on purpose, but she doesn't have any grudge against these rebels. Now, you can see that I played a little bit more, like all the way up to chapter 4, or chapter 12 here. 16 is chapter 16. So the game goes on for quite a while. There's a lot of chapters in this game. So we're gonna save our game here. Yes. The autosave is up there. With East Wall Fortress secured by Wolfie's army, General Antares retreats deeper within the forest to a stronghold at Centurion's Rest. As Wolfie's first mission ends in victory, the Empire recognizes her promise as a commander and trusts her to invade Centurion's Rest and destroy any rebel forces in the area. Despite Zello's enthusiasm for victory in battle, the meaning of this rebellion begins to weigh on Wolfie's mind. These are not invading force, they are common people, fellow Veridians. Perhaps if Antares is brought to heel, there could be a quick end to the violence. The village of Eastwall. The people seem relieved to see us. The fighting has left their doorstep. Things can get back to normal. You have some time before our next mission. Eastwall would be our home base for now. We can trade with the locals, maybe recruit some of them into our force. I'll be at the blacksmith giving my gear a touch-up. Catch you later. Hey Wolfie, let me show you around. No need to rush, we can relax a bit now. We can talk and get caught up with each other. And as Zillow said, this is a chance for us to make improvements to our squad and troops by trading with the locals. On the top is the resource bar. This shows how much gold resources and tech points we have. On the top right, we can see our faction rank and progress towards the next rank. All this is up there at the top. On the left, and all the things we can do at our home base, tutorials and info. You need to walk me through these things. Click on the info icon and I'm happy to help. Or check out the tutorials option. Don't be afraid to check this at any time for helpful guides. When you're all finished up with the home base, just deploy to move on to the next chapter. So maybe the first thing you guys should do, if you start this game up and you get to this point, is hit the supports button right here. You get to have some conversations. This is the bigger, important button. So as we talk with people, you can see that they're friends of ours. If we look at Wolfie, who's acquainted to them, right? So Sybil is acquainted to Jules. Zelos is acquainted with us, and Jules is friends with the Sybil, and as a family member who we haven't met yet. That's why they're grayed out. So if we go to conversations here, we get faction XP for doing it, and we make friendship. Fancy meeting you here. Hey there, Jules, and you'll notice like these little gem things here on the side shows you what level of like social points that you got with them. So I believe blue is like acquaintance, green is friend. Hey there, Jules. Oh, hi there. Hi, Wolfie. Great to see you. I'm pretty relieved that you and I ended up on the same team. Not sure if I would have made it through the academy without you. Yeah, I'm glad we got assigned to the same campaign. Lucky break, huh? So what's it been like for you growing up in Veridia? As Sayonari. Well, I feel very fortunate. And my adoptive parents made sure I didn't grow up without knowing about my Sayonari heritage. Sounds like such a wondrous place. Yeah, shame outsiders can't show their face there anymore without being turned away. They lost so much during the Succession War, and for basically nothing. They are protective of their way of life, so say my parents. Maybe Veridia's leaders could learn a thing or two from that. I can't imagine what good is to come from the attacks on the Denari temples. Most Veridians are devotees of Dinar. It's as if they're trying to provoke people. I know you don't like this sort of thing. Politics. It's okay, usually go over my head with this stuff, but I like to listen to it anyway. You're great company, Wolf. And sometimes, you know, people love just to listen to people talk and to not have to really think. Just to hold conversation, be near somebody, that kind of thing. Sometimes I don't understand your optimism, but I sure appreciate it. So here's a reward, and Jules and Wolfie have become friends, if they weren't already. Sybil and Jules, red Oni and blue Oni. Good thing we showed up, huh, Jules? Can't let the others take all the glory. Ah, come on. Glory is not all that important. Says you. You're sweet and all, but you're adopted by rich nobles. Ooh. The rest of us have to scratch and claw for everything we get. What do you want so bad anyway? You're doing great. Jules, have I ever told you that I tried to become a paladin? Not yet, but they seem right up your alley. Exactly what I keep saying. But the temple leadership said I was too hot-headed and ambitious. So here I am, just a plain old army priestess. I'm sorry. So, well, this seems very important to you. Have you ever seen the girls in the Sisterhood of Justice? They're so amazing and loved by everyone. I have to become a paladin somehow. I just have to. Sorry, I'm being so selfish. What do you want for your future, Jules? Well, I can't say I thought about it too much. I just take things day by day. Yeah, that's probably easier than always chasing the future. Yeah. I don't know, my personality is kind of like a mix in between that, right? So, I'm always chasing for the future, but I have to remind myself to live in the moment every now and again. Or it feels like it's not a life worth living, in a sense. Philosophically, I mean, it's like, if all you're doing is work, and you don't take the time to smell the roses, as such, or go out for a nice meal, to actually be in the moment, to enjoy what you're eating, then life gets a little bland. But yeah. The archives is where you get to listen to these conversations once more, if you want to look at them again. As you can see, we're now friends with those folks. And here we get to the more interesting stuff, right? We have the marketplace, the tech tree, and the organized army thing. So let's go to our tech tree. We have, I believe, 2 points to use, right? Everything in here at the bottom costs 1. And this is like personal preference, what you want to build into. The cost to get into the next level is you have to get into you can't get it just yet because it's not unlocked due to our level ranking, right? So unlocks the recruitment slot for apprentices. This allows us to get more mages. Non-leader units and squads now gain leadership at a modest rate, up to below 10 of the squad leader's current LDR stat. This is really good for if you want to make units in your squad into a leader to try to bulk out the amount of units you have on the field. Merchant Envoys expands the mercenary and item trader pools, giving us more opportunity to hire experienced soldiers and purchase exotic artifacts. This is really good to grab early on. I'll probably grab that. Zone of Control. Enemy squads incur a movement penalty when moving between tiles that are adjacent to our infantry type units. All support classes gain 20 more HP, so they're more survivable. It's now easier for our cavalry squads to achieve a charge attack instead of requiring having moved 7 tiles before attacking. Now they can move 6 tiles to achieve the same effect. Pretty useful. Mixed unit tactics. Each unit gains +3 power for each unit type. Each unit of a different type added to the squad, starting with a second unit type. If you want that early game boost, it's really helpful. Identify command structure. We now have the ability to use the target leader attack. We're going to grab this for sure. Taking out the leader will give us the enemy unit a morale hit. That's pretty useful. If they lose all the morale, the whole unit surrenders. So, really useful. Defeating the enemy squad, and we get more money, we get more faction XP. So we definitely want to do that. Defeating the enemy squad leader causes even more morale damage. So these two combined together, really good. Maybe we'll grab that. Those two. All new conscripts start at level 1, and we're at +1 level with a half class mastery of their starting class. Really useful if you're playing on Iron Man mode, where you start losing guys like pretty fast. So the first tutorial level, we actually almost lost quite a few people if we didn't play it right. Unlocks a second artifact slot, allows us to further customize our squad. So we start off with 1. This gives us 2. This one gives us a third one, and this one. Artifacts cost one less capacity. So capacity is the amount of weight that a troop has. It's kind of like how many soldiers you can have in a unit. You'll see it here once we get to micromanaging our units. We can now construct crossbows, unlocking the crossbow class. These guys are really good against armor. Grants heavy infantry and heavy cavalry 25 HP, more survivable. More survivability again here. Armor and armor for heavy and light. So we're going to grab these two right off the bat. Most useful. The Psych Warfare and the Identify command structure. And those are our 2 points. We'll check out the rest of the tree later. It's very... you can definitely build in a certain way. There's definitely replayability if you want to play it a different way. Towards different units. So we did the tech tree. Let's go to the marketplace. So here we can recruit different units. These guys in green are better than these ones up here. So you can see this is already a crossbow unit. We can't even get these guys because we don't have the tech for it. But he's already here in the mercenary place. But you can see that this little thing right here, right? He has a trait right here, cold-blooded, and he's a mercenary. So because he's a mercenary, unit is solely motivated by a payday. +2 capacity cost less. +2 capacity cost unless the leader. So that means we can have less people in our unit. You'll see what this means in a second. But over time, the longer he fights, he becomes less of a mercenary and he actually becomes loyal to us. So this capacity cost will go to 0 eventually, and then even like it boosts like his loyalty and stuff. That's maybe not the best way to explain it. We'll get to how to compose a whole unit together, but it's worth looking at this. And then you go over to here to trader. You can buy some of these cool items. Steel greatsword. These are the artifacts that we can give to our units, and these are traits. That's the skills or the traits that those units have. Plus 25 damage to already damaged enemies. That's a really good one. So that recruit we had over here, he would hit harder if that guy is already wounded to begin with. I like these type of units too, these skirmishers. You can turn them into some pretty cool units. We may pick them up since we have 4k gold. So let's look at our army. And see what we want particularly. So this is our Wolfie squad. Our leader is right here, and these two guys are our front line. Now you can move these units so that they kind of block the front line a little bit better. I like them right about there. So there's like a space here so they don't get hit. As long as these guys stand in front of them, these guys can't really get hit. So for now, at the very beginning, until you get those skirmisher units that can hit the back line, which is very dangerous. So usually if you want to have your squishy units who can't attack, you want to put them in the middle like this, instead of having them all the way in the back. They're harder to hit by archers, but you definitely want people you don't want to die, who are very vital to the squad, in the middle. So yeah. Now each of these guys has their own stats, and we'll look at it right here. So you can see the capacity right here is 10, right? But the whole squad's capacity is based on the leader unit. So you can see the L is right there. Wolfie is the leader. He has a capacity, or she has a capacity of 54. This whole squad takes up 38 capacity. So that mercenary who had a capacity of, let's see, marketplace, recruit. This guy has a capacity of usually like 10 or so, but then he's +2 more, so that makes him like 12. So he's more expensive than, let's go to squad operations, click this guy. Unit statuses right here. This guy has a capacity of 10, so he's 2+ more. Now, it looks like we could add in another 16. So we could add one more guy from the mercenaries, if we want to, into the squad. This unit doesn't have a ranged unit, so I definitely am thinking about adding either the skirmisher or the what's it called? The crossbowmen into this group. It'd be pretty good. Jules is his own dedicated unit, so actually that's one thing I want to do is remove these two guys. Yes, and he'll go into reserves. You're not deleting him. If you want to get rid of them, you can dismiss them from over here. But they go into a kind of like a pool, and that's how big our pool is right there, down at the bottom, 200. Squad operations. Let's give Jules those archers, and we'll put them in the front here. So we've kind of maxed out his unit with, he can have 5 more capacity. So you want a little bit of headroom right here, because you can give them artifacts, right? Which takes up capacity, which we don't have any currently. Let's see, marketplace, we'll go to the trader. So this steel greatsword has 2 capacity. If Jules' unit was already maxed out, we couldn't actually give him the steel greatsword. Archers, they don't use skill particularly, they use strength to do damage, so it's a little unintuitive, but we definitely want to buy this. And this Denari armor gives armor, magic, and MP, so this is really good for mages. Or like frontline units. MHP, max HP, that's what that means. And we definitely want to grab these things. So I'm going to grab all of these items, for sure. And I'm going to recruit these guys for sure. And we'll figure out what to do from there. Now these guys, you can buy as many of these guys as you want. The ones in black here. So you can fill out the guys if you want. These guys will upgrade into different tier units, so each one of these will upgrade to something different. Usually I at least want to have 1 healer in every group, just in case. So we'll probably think about doing that. Let's see, organize army, squad operations. You have a healer, Jules' unit. I usually keep them out of harm's way, so I don't give them a healer most of the time, which is fine. Sybil, how big is your unit? So Sybil's unit, she doesn't have very much capacity because she's not one of the best leaders. But if you level her up, you get her more leadership, you get her to combat more often, her capacity will go up. So she has a bunch of spearman units, which is okay. I actually like those guys. They're pretty strong. Let's add a unit. These skirmisher guys are really strong. I like using them a lot. Because, let's see, you can change their class, right? So this is what I was talking about before. This one guy can change it to like a bunch of different classes. So if we click this, we can go over here and see what kind of requirements it takes to get to the next unit. We have 4 iron to work with, and he needs 25 strength to be able to become a soldier. A guy with like more armor, a shield, right? A better frontline unit. Now these guys have like different stats or bonuses that they get. So frontline infantry, heavily armored and protects the backlines with cover, right? This frontline infantry, polearms are strong against cavalry, so they have horses. You want to have spearmen attacking the horses, kind of like the rock, paper, scissors. He can turn into a scout if we had horses. We don't. The skirmisher is the kind of different from the rogue, but they're pretty good. Archers, and we have the mages here. We can't buy them yet, but we can turn our guys into them. Yeah, so actually I want to do a little shuffling here for squad operations. Remove units, yes. And we'll give them each one of each to kind of balance them out at the very least. And actually, squad operations. I'm gonna take this person's mage from this unit and then give them a little bit of different kind of attack power. We'll give them the rogue here. And squad operations, add units. Give them this guy. And add a unit. Give them this guy. Now the mages, they, let's see, do something like that. Usually you want to keep someone in the back, such as your leader, I guess. Your leader should either be in the middle or like as such. Maybe something like that. Because these guys will protect these people. But they'll get hit in the back line. Once the squad gets a little bigger, I'll throw some people in the back line. And they'll be the ones hit by those guys who can get around and flank around. I'm happy with what we got. We can add in another 6 points. So we're going to give them the great sword here. Or actually, what's it called? The Denari armor. So it gives us more magic points. It'll make our mage hit harder to ensure like they kill out a unit, and they have more HP. Let's see. Squad operations. We're gonna give these guys the longsword. Artifact, or the great sword here. Okay, and squad operations. Let's see, use item. I'm gonna give. So these affinities, you'll see. Every unit has a certain affinity. And that'll change what kind of like stats that they kind of upgrade on their own. So if you want this guy to have less HP, but more strength and skill, then this is what you would want to give him. So usually you want to put these on like the rogue types, bowmanship. Any archery attacks from this unit will ignore the penalty for firing at walls or wood walls. So I'm gonna give that to the archers. I'm gonna give him this right here, and you gotta confirm it. So he now has the cold-blooded trait. Let's go into squad operations. Make sure use item here. Humphrey. He has the fire affinity type, which is pretty okay. It doesn't show up here exactly, but let's see. Use item. I'm okay with giving him this. So yeah, he goes down in HP, and he goes up in magic and skill. The skill is quite important for actually getting him to the next level of what's it called? Class, right? Let's go to the archer unit. Squad operations. Use Jules. Do you know archery yet? Or bowmanship? Okay. So since he's a leader, he has this leadership kind of extra trait. So archery units in the squad cost 2 less capacity. So that's pretty cool. So this whole unit right here, we just don't want to fill it out with archers. Zealous is a little lonely over there. That's okay. We could actually fill out his unit with more guys. We could even make more units. I'm not quite sure how many units we can have in the next one, but we can totally fill it out more. Oh, let's see. Organize army. Oops. Marketplace. That's what I want. No, what I wanted to do was check how much capacity he can have. He has 54 capacity. And there's also some merits to be had where you can not spend any gold and hold it over for the next chapter, which is a pretty good strategy. But I like recruiting guys. Maybe recruiting better guys is always better, but I want to get at least one more of these to put into his squad, so he has the opportunity to heal up as such, and then we'll put more in here. So I like the way this is. You can add more units so they can get leveled up too. It might be worth grabbing another what's it called? I might do that. We'll grab another healer. Marketplace, recruit, and yeah. Organize army, squad operations. Add units. And then we'll move them around slightly so they're like this. We could add one more. I'm trying to level up another archer. Why not? So organize army. Or marketplace, recruit. Another archer. So when Jules can fit another guy, we'll throw him into his unit. Squad operations. Add unit. That's another bowman. Move them around slightly so they don't get hit. So this one guy, Zealous, is blocking for everybody else. And I think that should be fine. So yeah. So usually they look like an arrowhead of some sort, or like the whole front line is filled with people. But yeah. If you know, some people don't like the micromanagement, but it gets faster over time. And it's not too much of a big deal if you go in with what you have to begin with. It's not too bad. But yeah. I'll see you guys in the next part when we do the next chapter when we deploy. So I'll see you guys later.